Hello everybody and welcome back to the Celtic Unrestricted View. My name's Ryan Clifford. Join me is Jason and JP. 7 points clear, 7 up. The wheels are falling off the Paw Patrol. Giovanni wheel. The wheels are off. Rangers are 7 points behind. Well lads, positive weekend for Celtic. JP, back on mate. Hope you're alright. I'm shouting because we're happy. I'm happy to see your face, JP. How's things, mate? And 7 points. There we go.
Good evening, mate. Nice to see you're back on, mate, instead of watching us on the telly for a wee change, mate. You know what I mean? Don't know if it was worse, the fact that you were writing comments in my box, or just the fact that you just couldn't be asked coming on to join us on Friday, mate. That just can't keep happening, just what you say, mate. You know what I mean? That's just...
I can't comment. I was not on Friday either, so...
I'm saying that, you're turning into a bit of a Scarlet Pimpernel these days, I know, aren't you, big man? I don't know who's getting the trophy at the end of the month, but one of will be winning the hide and seek champion, that's for sure. But it's lovely to see you boys. Always happy to see your wee smiley faces. Why are we smiling? Because we're 7 up. Superb. Saying that, we've been smiling for a long time, to be honest with you. It's been really good. And every day there's something new to smile about, whether it be another Japanese player we're linked to, or Big Ange telling us that, you know, we're never going to stop and things are just going to keep getting better and better. And he's talking about progression and making us a Champions League team season in and season out. So, all good now. Celtic front, boys. Hope you are well. As I say, feel as if I've not seen you for a while. I've not seen you for a while because you were hiding Friday, Ryan, and big man, I don't know what you've been doing, but like I say, feel as if I've not seen you for a long time. But some of us were hard at it in the office, you know, well, I also had the luxury of flicking through our channels 1 to 1,000.
Aye, but Jason, as JP says, I was hiding because my throat was knackered with singing Celtic songs for 5 days, but obviously I was in Madrid, obviously I'm back now. Just recovered for a match.
Me and Barry actually thought off camera it was a dodgy paella you beat me.
To be fair, Barry, I wasn't happy with the food.
A dodgy something anyway.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, the McDonald's there is shocking. Buffalo burgers, what's buffalo, what's pulled pork? You know what I mean?
Exactly.
But anyway, Jason,
it doesn't help, man, when the chicken starts eating all your chips midway through your meal. You know what I mean?
Obviously yourself, Jason, back home, mate. How's things? And obviously a good weekend to start us off with a positive podcast, mate.
Aye, it's good to be back on it. It was a good weekend. Started it off well with having went to the game on Saturday. That was a fucking emotional roller coaster, I'll tell you that. But it was good. I didn't make it to Friday. My 2-year-old had other plans for me, no, wasn't letting me come on, so what can you do? But it's good to be on. It's good to see the two of you. Good to have a good chat. And
I was going to get a petition out for you, big man.
I know. I think a few people were putting out a search party for me, mate. I just sort of had disappeared, but I've been smiling for Saturday. Well, I was really happy on Saturday. Just the result, and then for Sunday, I've been beaming, man. I've ordered myself 24 cans of 7-Up. So I'm taking them into work with me every day. So so good in the hood.
Must admit, Barry, that was a good gag, mate. I like that. But obviously, JP into the serious stuff. Obviously, 4-2, obviously victory. Celtic Park. But again, we always say we don't really want to talk about referees and VAR, but we're obviously not going to because of the game and what happened. But obviously, JP, very good start of the match, getting the goal quite early on, and you're thinking, right, batter away, started quickly, we'll get another 2 or 3, 4, whatever it's going to be. And then obviously the penalty happens, mate. But it was a good goal, obviously, to start off with. But Haskell Barnett was getting his first goal for the club.
Aye, superb, mate. It was good to see him getting on the score sheet, and also quite a decent performance for him, I thought, all round. It was 2 he got, wasn't it? One was, well, obviously the first one was deflected in, but it was getting in anyway. Nice ball with Jota across the box. His second goal was a bit more similar to Hatati's goal against him all across the city. In the 3-0 game last in February there. I keep going to say last year because it was last season, but it was only February this calendar year. But no, it was really good. What I found as well on Saturday was I thought the crowd started getting on their back a wee bit. I actually got a few comments made to myself at the weekend for the first time. I don't know how long I had to leave the game early. Believe it or not, shock horror, boys. Obviously, it was Guy Fawkes night, so we had other plans. We were going to see some fireworks, etc. So I kind of left a bit. I missed. Well, I've seen up to the Dundee United equaliser, Jace, but I missed the last 2 goals. I got to my motor and it was 4-2.
Oh fucking hell!
And like I says, it was one of the ones. It was just I had to go because I had to beat the traffic. It was I would have been probably late significantly if I hadn't went when I did. But I missed their 2 goals. But again, it just epitomises that we are under inch and the fact that we just never stop and we put, we put necks on lines and we throw everything we've got at it. And listen lads, that's what your big players are for. That's another reason the substitutes worked really well on Saturday for us. I thought, you've got guys like Kyogo and who's come under quite a bit of criticism recently. Probably not feeling the best about himself and all in terms of being left out the Japan team as well. But then you bring him off the bench and he scores. And Giakoumakis, it got to a point in the game, I thought on Saturday, he was trying very, very hard. Maybe trying too hard to get that goal. He was unlucky. He tried a couple of overhead kicks, man, and I had a sore back just watching him. Just the first one, he never connected with it at all. No, sorry, it was the second one, he never connected with it at all. And the first one, he nearly took the big boy, what do you call him? No, the big boy at the back, what's his name?
The captain?
No, the other big boy.
No more Grew. He's always injured when he plays against us.
I can't mind his name. I nearly took our sheet off. So, as I say, but you go an early goal, Ryan, and you think to yourself, like, here we go, the cat, like a cat among the pigeons here, and, you think the door's just going to open up. And then obviously they get the penalty, which just, like I say, I don't know, like, my dad thinks it's a penalty, right? Fair enough, it's at his hand. But the fact that he's not even aware of where he is and whereabouts he is in that box, and the fact that somebody seeded the ball into his hand for close range as well, I don't know what he's supposed to do. And then it's a double whammy there because he's getting booked or not. That wasn't deliberate. So if any of the officials can come back and actually explain to us why he was booked, then I'd be interested and intrigued to find out why that was, because, as I say, that wasn't deliberate. And I thought you only got booked for an act of deliberance, like, being deliberate at something. So, no, as I say, it's a bit of a strange one to me. But the penalty, I mean, again, with VAR, lads, I think sometimes you need to use a bit of common sense. And the ref actually goes to the monitor. So he's got the overall decision. But I'm led to believe with VAR now, boys, it's happening in your ear. So basically you're being told, listen, we think this is a penalty. We just want you to come and see it on the screen. But he's a ref in the game. He's a match official for that day. So he's got the right away to come in and go, no, do you know what? I don't think that's a penalty. I think that's... I'm going to overrule that. And use a bit of discretion. Don't just listen to everybody else. But, as I say, VAR's... People are going to argue for it. People are going to argue against it. I'm not against it if it's going to be used properly. But if it's getting used to make up rules as we go along, then I'm afraid it's not being used properly, because you've got to look at the game at Tynecastle.
I would like that, I know.
The game at Tynecastle, you've got to look back and think to yourself, right, is it being used properly? Because if you're going to give a ball, like give a penalty for that handball against Bernabeu at the weekend, then you're getting 2 penalties for Forest, in my opinion.
JPC on that, right? See, since VAR came in, I don't know if you two agree with this, right? But see, all the handballs I've seen, the one at Tynecastle's the most clear handball out of them all. And it's the only one that's not been given. It's literally the only handball that's not been given. And it's been the most blatant handball out of all the handballs, in my opinion, that I've seen since VAR came in.
Why there's other decisions. It's not just the Celtic games. There's other decisions just that, you know, like I've seen a wee snippet of the Aberdeen penalty for the Hibs game on Friday night. That was never a penalty. I know.
No penalty, mate. Like, he gets the ball first.
But that's what I'm saying as well. And then you look at VAR in isolation with the Tony Watt thing. VAR sends him off, and then his red card's rescinded. So I'm asking the question as to what's the point in having VAR if you're just going to have a compliance officer, whoever it is that makes the decisions, to then rescind that red card? Should any team go forward and say, no, do you know what, I want to appeal this? Obviously, he had grounds to appeal. You know, he pulls his leg away first and foremost. You don't even need VAR to see that. So, in my opinion, whether it be a training issue or teething problems is what Ange, you know, I can cop teething problems the same as Ange, but what I can't cop is the length of time it's taken him to make these decisions. He stood on the park for nearly 2 minutes before he decided, right, I'm going to go to the monitor and have a look at this. The play had went on. There was another 2 to 3 passages of play, and then the ball goes out for a shy, and that's when the game stops, when VAR's having a check. VAR should be looking at that straight away. No in 5 minutes' time, or I'll do it when I get my memory back. They knew. Do it right now when the incident happens. So that when the ball breaks away, you look at the Carter Vickers penalties. He's not getting that. The refs never get that on the day.
No,
so
it was a penalty, by the way.
No, it was a penalty. I don't have any problem with that. But he's not given that in the moment. He's then waited we've broke up the park. Hearts have fought the ball out for a shy, and then they went back and had a look at it. So
what would happen then if they did that and then we got the park and score? Did they chop and they go off and gain the penalty?
I think so, mate. They've got to go back on that decision.
That's criminal, man.
So.
That is fucking criminal.
The thing is, yeah, an interesting comment for the YouTube and James Robertson. The refs never overturned at least 10 decisions at the weekend. It's shocking. Thing is, James, what we're being told is the ref can't overturn. In his ear, he's been told, right, listen, we think that's a penalty, or we think that's a possible red card. We need you to go and look at it. The ref, I've heard this through something James McFadden was saying. The ref then can't go to the monitor and go, no, do you know what? I'm going to overrule that. I know he should be allowed to because he's the match official. But the refs no really, because VAR's video assistant referee. So if the ref misses it, VAR kicks in to go, you've missed this, you need to go and look at it. That's basically what video assistant referee means.
What JP's saying is right, but I watched the VAR Vallecano and Real Madrid game last night, right? And that's on the commentary they were saying that, and again, I don't know if I heard it wrong, but what I thought I heard was in Spain, the referee can go against it. Don't know if I'm spotting what I heard right, but what I heard from the commentator, unless you got it wrong, the commentator says that the referee can go against what they think and still go with his decision, which I feel should be the way forward because the referee is refereeing the game, no VAR and no the guy who's doing the whatever it is up in VAR, right? The referee is in charge of the game, right? So my opinion, Jason, what JP's saying, according to what we know here, it's meant to be the referee. If the VAR goes a penalty, then he's got to go with it, right? If that's what it is, fair enough, right? But what I feel it should be, if it is correct what the commentator says, Jason, that in Spain you can go against it, right? Talk what JP says, right? Carter Vickers, he's no getting it, right? He didn't give Forest, right? He didn't go and get it when they got fucking viewed in VAR. So what is going on here? Who's telling who what to give, and who's giving the decision? Because if it's the referee, then he's bossed up on no giving it against us for us for Forest, and he's went against Paul what maybe the VAR saying. So what is VAR? A VAR giving it? Is a ref giving it? Do you know what I mean? It's a total fuck up, and it's totally. Do you know
my understanding is when the ref goes to the monitor, then it is that incident. So just say for talking sake, Carter Vickers slides in and he brings the boy down, right, and he's the last man. See if it goes to VAR and then the ref goes to the monitor, he's getting sent off.
Well, we all know if a guy,
but what if the referee still goes to the monitor though, and still goes, well, no, I don't think that's a penalty. Surely he can still go with his decision.
He's not allowed to.
So what's the point of having a referee then? What is the fucking point?
Because right, the way VAR works, Jay says it's video assistant refereeing. So VAR is there to assist the referee. So with the naked eye, the ref might miss something he's not seen in real time. Like for talking sake, the Carter Vickers penalty. Now that was a penalty.
Which is fair enough. Aye.
But so the VAR then kicks in and he's being told in his ear, listen, Willie Collum, or listen, Stuart McLean, or Steve McLean, or, listen, you need to go back. Now that the play's stopped, you need to come and have a look at this. But it's the length of time it's taken for that to happen. That equipment is rapid fast, as I'm led to believe. So they should within 30 seconds, they can have like 7 to 10 replays under what I'm being told. Different angles of that, what happened in that one incident.
Should they be taking 2 minutes?
What are they doing? Why is it taking 2 minutes for the ref then to be told, right, go to the monitor? Guys, listen, there was 5 minutes of fucking added on time in the first half. That's not happening, guys. That's nonsense. Absolute nonsense.
That's all right if there's been a serious injury, but there wasn't.
No, that's what I'm saying. Fans are turning up now and they're going like that. Even the players that are scoring goals, apart from legitimate goals, players are they're looking about going, right, what's going to happen now? Am I going to get... And then you're hearing like the Abada goal. And obviously I wasn't in the ground at that point, but when I'd left, I'd heard after it. They checked it, they went on to VAR to check.
They checked it for offside, because they thought Maeda touched it. They thought Maeda touched it.
Okay, right. I wasn't sure on why they checked VAR. I didn't know that case. That's me just hearing that. I didn't know.
Steven Kyogo scored. Right, know how usually when we score right away, they go score at Haksabanovic. It was about a minute and a half after he scored before the announcer shouted it out. Because he was obviously waiting to see if the goal was stunning. That's fucking no right. See down south, see when you watch a game down south and it's a VAR decision, it's done like that. They don't get it right, but it's done quick. And I don't remember it being this long ever down there. And for me, with this VAR since it's came in,
at the beginning it was murder. I remember doing the Premier League, it was tough. But see the way they operate it in the Champions League.
Aye. Mm-hmm.
They're told almost straight away. That's a penalty. Now, what I've read, I don't know again if this is true or hearsay or whatever. The referee was a referee against Real Madrid. Stephanie, I can't remember her name. She was told in her ear that the Matt O'Reilly. Now, Ryan, this might fall into what you were saying a minute ago, because it was in Spain, it means she can overrule the decision. Fair dues. But she was told in her ear, and I think Steve McManaman said this as well, they found out that she was told in her ear that the Matt O'Reilly wasn't a penalty.
And she gave it.
There was no way she seen that. No fucking way did she see that.
No, it's when she's went and saw a replay, she's then overruled what she's been told. But I think she's, as far as I'm led to believe, I think she's in a wee bit of soapy, because obviously I think she's went against...
She booked them for it.
Yeah, I know. But that is, see the new... I know it's mental, mate, but see the new VAR ruling. that is potentially part of it as well, as what I'm being told. But then again, we were talking on the chat earlier on, and I think the boy Connor Barons gave away a penalty tonight in the game, and he never get booked for it. So depending on the severity of, I actually don't know that score. However,
did you see the Craig Gordon one on Sunday?
Aye.
No. Right, but he'd already been booked.
I never saw the Hearts game on
Did you
Sunday.
see it, Ryan? He'd already been booked, and then he gave a penalty away. That's a fucking booking. He should be off the park. Does the booking for it?
What's your thoughts on the Burnley penalties? And then I'll get to a few of the YouTube, a few of the comments.
But mate, it's embarrassing. It's ludicrous that that's even been. No, right. I understand that had the handball and all that, right? If it's on a national position, but what is he meant to do with his arm when he's going up for that header? Because when I'm going up for a header, you go like that. Or you know what I mean? Because you need it for leverage. What is he meant to do there? And the fact that not one Dundee United player even shouted for that tells me that's not a penalty. And when at the game, obviously I was sitting there, I was saying it wasn't a penalty. No many people I've spoke to said it's a penalty.
My dad sits down near there, and he says and he's the guys that he was sitting with in first incident says that was a Eddie Son up and it was a penalty. So when I seen it back, I thought to myself,
JP, I just think that it's going to open up more. It's not just going to be a tactic now, though. He hit the ball after somebody's gone in the box.
I've not got a problem with the penalty itself. It's the length of time it's taken the officials to get to that. I don't have a problem with the initial penalty. See if there's a penalty given against us, I don't care. It's the length of time it takes them to get to that decision.
See, in terms of obviously, right, I've obviously looked at the rules now, right? See, in terms of technicalities, right? If he's want to go with the rule book and be consistent, right, as a penalty, but the rules will be scrapped, right? Not just me saying this and us. Pundits are saying it, football players are saying it, right? But see, in terms of football knowledge, in it, see if you've played the game of football and you've looked at games for years, etc., right, and you're a fan of football, that is not a fucking penalty. I don't care. See if that's given against me in a Sunday league game or a Saturday game, I'm a fucking rocker. That's
you're fucking right.
And see the thing is for me, right, Burnaby's looking that direction. He's not looking at the ball. And as you have said, the players didn't even argue for the penalty. Right? No. It's obviously, I know I spent a bit of time on this, but it's definitely something that's going to get mentioned because that's not been mentioned in the media. It was
I'll be curious to see.
Oremy Sports saves a penalty.
Well, I'll be curious to see the Mora, right?
Sorry, Jason, you go.
See the Mora, right? If there's a fucking hint of handball in the box and we don't get it, then you've got a case to be like that. Well, how the fuck's that not a penalty?
Hold on a wee minute. I don't know if you know this or you're aware of this. I put it up. I don't know if you remember seeing it. But
I've seen it.
See him, it was a ref on Saturday. He's a VAR assistant for us tomorrow. Wally Collins, a referee. So see if he went to the monitor and he was that ruthless in order to give that penalty. Should something like that happen tomorrow, our way, I hope he's going to be just as ruthless. Because, guys, I'm telling you now, people might say, oh, it's conspiracies, it's this, it's that. I'm telling you now. See if you think it's bad now, wait till the 2nd of January.
Oh, fuck,
I'm not kidding. Wait till the 2nd of January. Because we're going to get brother beaten or something. And
I tell you right now what's happening the 2nd of January.
Ready to start laughing, mate.
Seriously,
we're going to get...
John Beaton and Nick Walsh, that's what you're getting.
Stevie Wonder and Ray Charles are going to be in the control tower, but they out and chewing the fat. Sellotape one another's heads to the chairs, burling one another about, and nothing's going to be
on the assistant VAR or no. That's how you'll get in the 2nd of January.
We'll get a few comment. Who?
You'll get Beaton as ref, you'll get Walsh as on the VAR, and you'll get McLean as assistant VAR. That's where you'll get in the 2nd.
It's like the Backstreet Boys, isn't it?
I'll get a few comments, boys.
You'll get Dougie Ross on the fucking sidelines. Dead card.
Kenny says, hey, Kenny, hail, mate.
Hail, Kenny.
We'll get Tam's point. We'd like to hear the discussion between the VAR and the refs. And Robbie, I agree with you, Tam, but I don't think it'll ever happen in Scottish football, to be honest with you, mate. I do agree with you. I think we should know all the screens. Obviously, Celtic Park's got the luxury, Jason, JP, of having the screens. So why not put it up? It happened in Nottingham Forest game because Henderson got a yellow card and the Forest fans were going berserk. How's that a penalty? But listen, I'm happy with the referees. Again, it's all down to money, finances, and everything else, technology. They can't work VAR, so how are they going to fucking work a mic? Do you know what I mean? That's the way it's getting. We'll go back to that minute as well. Another one as well from James. The referee, I've seen that the referee's overturned 10. I know, mate, it was some of the decisions that were happening at the weekend, especially not just in your game.
No, but it's like, right, and a few managers, I think, and say that it's like when you get a new toy or a new computer game at Christmas and you're like that, let's all get a wee shot of this, and then you can go, oh, well, I gave 4 decisions in VAR this week, or well, I gave 5, or well, I gave 6. That's what it's fucking like, by the way. That's what it's like. It's fucking really bad.
I agree with you, Frank.
Aye.
No, but in terms of that, JP, Tam says, I think it's Tam, Tam, would you make you think that should get introduced? But me personally, I don't think they'll do it because I think, like Jason says, with a handball, I think it's going to open a lot more things when they actually need to get involved. Maybe after the match, say this is why I gave it, etc. But I don't think the Scottish football, I don't think it will happen because I think they'll get too much abuse for saying maybe certain things on the park where the crowds are.
Personally, right, I don't care about hearing what they're saying in the moment. What I would like to hear is a recorded video.
I agree with that, 100%. That's a tactic now. To get the ball into somebody's hands.
Comment for YouTube, Stranger Love Doctor. I love that name, mate. Or female, whoever it is. Is this a news tactic in Scottish football? Just chip into hands. Don't try and find a cross or teammate and basically just try and get a penalty or a free kick. See, to be fair, mate, or female, sorry, whoever it is. I do agree with you. I do think, JP, that's the way football's gone. If it hits your hand, it's going to be something.
To be fair, I'm not being rotten, boys, but in Stranger Love Doctor, I appreciate the comment and stuff, but aye, Frank, you need to stop being called beans, man. Seriously, that's you was well sitting in Clyde Van with Hugh Evans, mate. Seriously. But getting back to Stranger Love Doctor's, right? Getting back to Stranger Love Doctor's comment, yeah. If that's part of a manager's team talk with you know, then you're in the wrong industry. I'm sorry, but where have we went now that would be part of the strategy? I know what you're saying about on the park, etc., but is that all we've got now in football? Let's do this because VAR's giving you a penalty. No.
Well, they're doing it. Well, JP, they're doing it. We kicking the ball back into the pitch. It's still pure fucking attacks.
Jason,
so that's a tactic now.
Jason, what we're seeing now is we're seeing teething problems at the moment, mate, because we've integrated this not at the start of the season. We've integrated this midway through the season.
Can you understand that either?
Because the refs have not had a lot of training on it, mate. They've had a couple of months worth of training. That's a big mate. That's millions of pounds worth of equipment these guys are dealing with every day and every game now. So it's I haven't even given my ma a remote to the telly. Let alone trust her with that kind of equipment. Now, if they're that type of guy, they're maybe not technically astute, then it's going to take them a wee while to get used to, what button to press, what angle to go for, what.
But that doesn't.
There must be 2 buttons here. One that says Celtic, one that says against Celtic, and they just keep hitting the against Celtic button all the time.
The Celtic ones get dust on it because they don't fucking use it.
They don't see it. Aye.
But I know what you're saying, but JP, right? But that doesn't make up for.
I'm just going to answer this very quickly. The reason I wouldn't, to be fair with you, the reason I wouldn't personally, and the reason some players can't, is because I'm not that accurate. Look at John Lundstrom. He couldn't hit a corner else for a blind door.
See
so there's no danger. Listen, he can't even aim a 5-yard pass. There's no danger he's going to aim for somebody's on.
See when they comment, he said to you about JP about the strange love doctor says. See if I was playing, if I was still playing football, right? I'm not gonna lie. I used to dive. I used to do everything to want to get my football for 8 minutes. I was probably a horrible bastard. People hated playing against me, right? But I done everything in my power to win. I couldn't care if I was playing against JP, if I'm his best pal. For 90 minutes, I don't know who he is. I do everything I can to win football games, right? I would see now if I was playing football, I'd play a bit target people's horns or pull jerseys because I'm going to get maybe against me or a free kick for me, whatever. I'll do everything I can to play. So,
well, I'm afraid that's all we've got time for tonight, folks. Thanks for joining us on it.
Do I feel that make creep into football games? It wouldn't be in team talks, but do I think players will do it? Aye, because people will do it to win football games. In my opinion, I would exploit it. Like Strange Love Doctor says, same here, I would exploit it. In my opinion, it's not a good way to play football, right? But see if it's going to get you free kicks and penalties, would I do it? Of course I would.
I'm going to say no, because I'm a centre-half.
That's fair enough, right? I was a horrible striker. I used to do everything I can do. I used to dive. My good friend Sean Michael say, yeah, you never played, always injured, but on these. I agree with you, Sean, but I got penalties and free kicks when I did play. But I do.
You're getting knees with Hollander.
Soccer on the PlayStation here, come on.
He's getting knees with Hollander.
I've got a comment for you, Sean, lads.
There's somebody else that knows you well, right?
Oh, sick note. I do agree with that. But Sean says, lad, put this one to you, Jason. Fans should hear the discussion in VAR. It happens in the NFL. VAR should be mic'd up. Would you make of that, mate?
I think that it should be happening because we were actually talking about this going through the game on Saturday, right? And see if you watch rugby games and they're all mic'd up and all that. See the respect that those referees get in the games will feel like fans and for players because they're mic'd up. So I think that it's the way to go because you understand what the decision is. In my opinion.
No, I love some of these comments, man. I'll go back to another one as well. But to me, I agree with Sean, I agree with you that I do agree that I spoke about roughly that we probably should get to know by the screens and the referee, but I don't think it will happen here, to be honest.
But I also think, Ryan, that the referees after every game should be getting an interview and quizzed on why their fucking decisions are fucking so ludicrous. Like that one on Saturday, like the one at Tynecastle, because the first question I'm asking is, how's that no a penalty? See if they can give me a valid reason as to why that's no a penalty. Fair enough. Because I've got my views on it. But we won't get into that.
If I have nothing to hide. We'll leave that for our podcast, Sean. We can talk about that later.
We can do a full episode on that.
But obviously, kind of
fucking full serious.
Back to the game, JP, as well. A comment as well. I'll go back to it. I can't remember who it was from. I think it was for Tam.
Is it the guy?
Sorry, it was about Charles McLaughlin. It was Charles McLaughlin. He says about, it was on Facebook. He said, but Jota get pulled back. Why did the guy not get booked? Why did it not get obviously Hymead? Again, that goes back to but that goes back to JP, the Stephen Fletcher thing that I want to bring out as well. He pulled back Katati, didn't get booked, and that's in my opinion from what I'm seeing now for football. JP, when you pull somebody back, it's an automatic booking.
Did they not pull Burnley back or no when the wee man cut across the field?
Yes,
right.
But there's no booking, right? So this is what I'm talking about. I don't want to talk about the referee, JP, for this full podcast, but it's very hard noted because it's in your face now. It's in your face now, JP, and I don't really see anybody else putting out there. I've not seen the papers. I've not seen. Again, I don't really listen to a lot of Celtic podcasts, so I can't comment. But I've not seen it in articles. I've not seen it on Twitter, social media. I've not seen it anywhere. Right? When you pull back somebody, JP, in any laws of football, if it's junior, professional, amateur, 5-a-sides, it's a foul. And obviously 5-a-sides can't get a booking. But in professional football, it's a yellow card, JP. So how's again Fletcher? Again, he's a Bronx servant. Nothing against him. It could have been anybody. United, Callum Butcher, whoever it is, Tony Watt, anybody. But if you pull somebody back, it's a booking. Why is he not booked? I really want to know why he's not booked. Why not even go back? That can't go back to VAR because it's not an obvious thing. Me, but that's a booking.
Yeah, no, I totally agree. soon as you put your hands up to pull somebody's jersey, it's a standalone booking. I don't know. As I say, I'm not the lad. I'm not a lad Dickinson, so I can't answer for. But
because he's not the real deal.
No, man.
He might
He's
not
been
be
waiting
real
for
deal,
that. He's been waiting to use that, hasn't
he?
he?
Real deal, but he's as cheap as chips.
By the way, see that ref. See that ref.
He's certainly not got that fake tan anyway.
See that ref that was there, that refereed our game on Saturday. That's the first time I've seen him, and I hope it's the fucking last.
No, I think he's a relatively new ref.
Aye, fuck me, man.
Because again, mate, I've got a feeling with referees. I just think, as I say, I just think referees are they're that angry that they never get picked for a school team. They've got something against teams that play. No, but seriously, I just genuinely think that they're the guys that never get picked for a school team, and they're the ones that are, they've got they've had a long anger issue with it, and they've just not. And that's the way to let our team is to take it out on football players.
Would you actually pick somebody like Willie Collum in your team, looking at him? Would you even want to hang about with somebody like that?
To be fair, he might be a good football player.
To be fair, looks can be deceiving. He might be good at holding jackets, mate. You never know. You know what I mean? He could be good at that, or he could. Listen, he could be good.
Stand-up profile.
I've got my views on it, and
he's not got his Hulk Hogan t-shirt on.
I just think that, the older I get, the more I tend to believe that there is an agenda. I think.
I'm not worrying about it too much, Jason, because we all know that.
Well,
okay then, right. We'll talk about it.
I know why I get it, Jason, but I did.
There's a certain referee. There's a certain referee that's gave so X amount of penalties against a certain team.
I don't think we need to mention the name, because anybody who listens to this or listens to any Celtic podcast or watches the games, they'll know.
I thought Craig Thompson had retired.
But that's not just being angry. That's having allegiances to a certain team, in my opinion. But anyway, we'll move on.
But in England, you're asked to, up here, but down in England, you're asked to tell them who your allegiances lie with and who you're a supporter of. Because I only found that out through an interview watching Dermot Gallagher, and Dermot's a big Celtic fan, and he says to them, well, I get took in and I was asked about my team, blah blah blah, and he says, you don't need to worry, my team don't play down here. And he went, down here, who's your team? He went, there is only one team, Glasgow Celtic. And he's up at quite a lot of the games, I know. So
you can't do that.
It'd actually be interesting to hear Dermot's thoughts. And, I'd like him just to do a Celtic ref watch.
Aye.
And just to see how he was a brilliant referee.
No, I don't.
Just to see his expertise and where he would stand and some of the decision making. But like I says, I said to you a couple of weeks ago, Ryan, before all this had kicked off, and I says I don't want 90% of your pods getting took up with VAR. And here we are. We're nearly 40 minutes. We're nearly 40 minutes in, and we've not even spoken about Celtic.
See, the thing is, right, I'm actually going to move on to football, but I do agree, right? Listen, I know people might listen to this and think, guys, they're talking about VAR too much. But see, the thing is, see if it means that we need to put it out there and people need to share it or people need to listen to it, then fine. This podcast. Listen, one thing is, Jason, the podcast, we put things out here, we're honest, we try and hear opinions. We want it out there for fans to listen to, fans to put out there, because
that's it.
It doesn't get put enough, my opinion, or this referee. Listen, see if I'm bad at my job, I'm warned or I'm sacked or I'm told, listen, don't come in next week. That's what should be happening with him. But it doesn't. It might happen behind closed doors, but it never gets happened that we don't know about all this, and we should get know about it all. But like you say, JP, when you get back to the football, go to yourself, Jason. Obviously, it was scored 2 late goals. But if you go by the headlines,
my God, I left.
If you go by the headlines, Jason, it was obviously Celtic scraped by United, Celtic left it late. See, if you look at the game as a whole, Celtic dominated the game. Celtic weren't brilliant. We weren't brilliant, right? We weren't brilliant. But I thought the first half, Jason, some of the football was very good. Some of the one touches, the bits of play, some of the chances again, we missed again. So, but we scored 4 goals and we still missed a lot of chances, Jason. If you look at the game as a whole, United didn't have a lot of chances. They had 1 or 2 snuffles at the goal. Joe Hart had the odd save to make. Didn't have much today. Bernabeu took off at half time because of what happened, not because of his performance. I felt sorry for the boy because he was left in a bit of Andrew's left in a bit of a dilemma to keep him on. Does he get booked again for having hit his horn? Does he make a silly foul? It's a shame that that's going to happen in football, that the guys took half a game because he had a referee decision. But on the football side, Jason, I thought we played okay. We won fantastic. But some of the football in the first half I thought was very good. Obviously, your subs come on and change the game again. Kyle comes on, Abada. I thought Jota looked sharp as well, to be honest with you. Again, Hastebanovic, another 2 goals from his first 2 goals for the club. I like him. I really like him, Jason. I really do like him.
Tumble was all right.
Well, I'm the opposite. I thought Tumble was one of the weak link, to be honest with you. And I'm a highlighter of Tumble. I'm a big fan of Tumble. I thought Tumble was... I don't want to say he was poor, Jason. He wasn't poor. He just wasn't what I would expect of him, because he's into the team, obviously trying to get back into the team.
But he needs I think he needs another. I think he needs, see with Tumble. Mm-hmm. He needs a run of games, mate. He needs to play 3 or 4 games to get back into this.
But one guy I want to point out, I'll let you back to that, what I've said to Jason, but one guy I want to point out to Jason, I'll get your opinion on him again, and then you can go through what I've just said to you, is Hatate, mate, because my opinion is that guy is very, very, very good. He's 3 to 4 steps ahead. There's some guys in your team, that's not saying your team's, some of your guys are not up to his level, I'm just saying he's thought pattern. He's always scanning. This is going to sound ridiculous, and it's no. I'm not comparing him to Messi, right? I'm comparing him to what Messi does. Messi walks about. He doesn't do anything fast. He doesn't do anything drastic. He's looking about, and Hatate's he's scanning. Everything's effortless. Everything's just slow passing. It's one touch. It's nippy wee hangs around the corner. It doesn't always come off. But when it comes off, it's very good and it looks very pleasing in the eye. And don't want Rangers fans going, oh, he's comparing it to Messi. I'm just saying the way he walks about the park, it's effortless and it's a sign of a top player, Jason. And for me, he's only going to go one way, and that's up. For me, last year, when he was tired, you could tell he wasn't up to scratch. He was tired. He came in full pelt, and it was like maybe 3 or 4 games in a row, boom, and then he declined. But for me, Jason, he's... Having McGregor, I know O'Reilly's doing well, Jason, but for me, in terms of midfield, McGregor's fully fit. They two need to play every week because they keep Celtic ticking. Obviously, McGregor's missing. O'Reilly's taking in that position, Jason. He's doing very well, but Hatate, for me, is a top player, Jason. For the value we've got from him, he's not played football for like 3 to 4 years, I think he's played pro football, and for me, it's outrageous, Jason, the levels that... And he's only going to get better under a manager that knows him now.
Mm-hmm. No, mate, Hatate, I know what you're saying about the Messi thing, but mate, I'm only going to say it because I've seen him recently because he was at Celtic Park, but he's like Modric, man. He's, as you say, he's 3 and 4, 5 steps ahead. If you watch Modric, man, he's always looking about. He's never static. He's always thinking about what he's going to be the next day, and I think Hatate's like that, mate. How he didn't get into that Japanese team is fucking beyond me.
I know.
I don't know how he's not got into that. I just, but you knew for last year when he came in, that he was class. But as you said, he was tired and all that. And I just think this year we've seen it. We've seen him go up a level. He controls it. He breaks. He can pick a pass. And I keep going back to it. That pass against Real Madrid in the first 2 minutes of that game was fucking... I've never seen a pass like that in my life. The range and how he can... He didn't even fucking look where he was putting the ball. You just know that what he's going to do with it. He's just... he's going to go. We see when he goes, we're going to get funny money for him. Because
you've got to ask. Well, you've got to, JP, like Jason says, you've got to ask for most of your players now. I said that a few previous podcasts. Every one of them, maybe apart from Joe Hart. Obviously, we don't know about Jens because he's only on loan, right? But you're starting living at least £10 million, and that's just starting talks in my opinion. People think, people might go, "Oh, you're daft, you're overconfident, your players." No, I'm talking about in the market, just based on the English market and the market what players are going for. If Calvin Phillips is going for like £100 million or whatever he's going for, why is Cam McGregor not going for that money? Is it because he's Scottish? Is it because he's at Celtic? Hatate's, I'm not saying Hatate's worth that. I'm just talking about on the market. The Celtic JP, we need to start asking. Well, we kind of have been tearing the 25 million, etc., etc. But I don't think £25 million is even worth asking you for our players. It's going to be higher. If we want to sign players for better value in terms of their ability, and we want to progress into a Champions League club, we need to start asking for more to put that money back out again to spending players.
I think it all comes down to Ryan as well. You've got to look at the valuation of what we spent on the individual. So
that's true, aye.
If we've spent 1.4 and 1.5 on O'Reilly and Hatate, I think a decent bit of business there is going to be anything above 15 million. And I know we're going, nah, do you know what? That's not good enough, blah, blah, blah. But you've got to look at it like that, because you can't then go like that. You paid 1.5 million from. We can't then hit somebody and go, right, we want 35 million from. Then you've got to take into consideration the length of his contract he's got left with you as well. The wages he's on at the moment. Because don't forget, when he signs with that club, he'll be given a package, so he'll be given like wages and everything else comes along with that. So there will be some sort of, negotiation along the way. But there'll be a ceiling where Celtic would need to go, right, listen, we play in the Scottish League. We're looked as a backwater league with a lot of teams around the globe. I think it might be different, Ryan. Should we just say, for talking sake, just say Ian stays with us for 10 years, right? And, all right, we've had one with Europa League football. Just say we get another 8 with Champions League football. Different ball game. You're talking name your price, right? See as it stands right now, mate, because we've only played in the Champions League, and as it looks on paper, we get booted out of there with our tail between our legs, right? As much as, we can go and analyse individual games and say we played well in all the games and we missed a lot of chances, we've done this, we've done that. Teams down south are laughing at us because we get slaughtered the last game of the group in the Bernabeu. And to the teams down south and to a neutral and to a guy outside that we're privy to, it just looks like we get rattled. So see teams, when they come scouting their players, they've got a big negotiation point there. Because other than the team across the water, who else have we got in the league that can potentially challenge us? Who else have we got to say, well, do you know what? This is the calibre of player he's playing against week in and week out. We're in the Champions League. We're this, we're that. We only get a Champions League team because we've only been in it for 1 year. We weren't in it for 5 years before that. So, as much as we love the players and, we're going to say, no, we want this for that. The club itself, mate, will probably be night and day for what we're talking about. Because, as I said, we only bought O'Reilly for 1.5 million. I can guarantee you now, see, just say, who was one of the teams who was linked me in the summer? Arsenal. Right? Just say Arsenal, we're after him, right? See if he comes in, see if they come back in and say, we're giving you, and just say for talking sake, it's January, right? See if they come back in and say, there's £18 million. Celtic are escorting Matt O'Reilly to the airport, mate. Sending him on a plane and away he goes for negotiations. I totally as much as what we are saying, we think he's worth more. We might do in terms of, the valuation of the individual. But in terms of the club, you've got to look at it in a business sense, mate. we've signed a guy for £1.5 million. A club's come in and bidded 18 million. Look at the profit Celtic have then made. As much as we're going to go, you know, that it's going to be, you know, we want funny money. We're only going to get that should we sustain ourselves as a Champions League club. And then, as I said to you, Ryan, it then becomes name your price, because some of your players are on 4 and 5 year contracts. So,
but we've spoken about that. See, in terms of Celtic as a business, Jason, you agree? I think you agree as well. I'm agreeing with JP. We're a business, right? So, like you say, O'Reilly is 1.5, right? If say it was Arsenal and they did put £50 million, I'm us as fans, we're thinking, be that more the English market. But see, if you look at technically, the board might go, well, £50 million for selling Manu, say you're 10 points, whatever it is in January, right? Should be enough to get us to should be enough today without him. We'll get the money and we'll reap it away with a new player in the summer or whatever, because we all know Anne's already says his January business is a bit done. Probably by the end of February, summer's already been done.
There's one there, Ryan, just as you say that, mate.
He's identified, he's basically, James just says, he's basically says
Did you see that, Jason?
That's unbelievable.
Jason, apparently the guys who are coming in January, apparently they already know what's happening, and everybody knows what's happening.
So that shows you where we are. That shows you where we are as a club.
Fucking unbelievable.
But Jason, that's what I'm saying, right? We have got people thinking...
Talk about being proactive.
People think we're talking shit, Jason, right? We have got in our hands, I don't care what anybody says, this is my opinion and what I've seen from my manager and from what our players are. For where we have went for 2 years ago to now, we have got I know, in my opinion, we were chasing an elite manager and Eddie Howe. I've watched these podcasts. If anybody's listening to this live stream or listens to the podcast, go to the High Performance and listen to Eddie Howe. And if you want to know what an elite manager's like, in my opinion, go and watch that, because it's fantastic. Ange Postecoglou, in my opinion, I'm so glad we've gone, because it's made us forget about Eddie Howe. Would Eddie Howe be successful at Celtic? 110%. Don't care what anybody says he would have been. For what I've seen with Newcastle and for what I've done research with JP, we've done research before I'm on him. Phenomenal manager, and he's going to take Newcastle to big places, in my opinion. Ange Postecoglou, in my opinion, JP and Jason, we have got our hands as an elite manager. He's not a yes man. He tells the board what he wants. He talks to the board, and they obviously they're going in dialogue. We'll get this player, and it's done. See the fact that he's got his business done in January, who he's selling or who he's buying, that's phenomenal, in my opinion, Jason and JP. And I do believe, I don't know what you think, Sean, Eddie Howe, exactly. But honestly, Sean, go and listen to his podcast, mate. It's phenomenal.
I think I'll put that on after this.
What do you feel, Jason, what JP says? I do agree with JP. I'm only talking about in terms of what us as a club we should be kind of asking for, in a sense of none of this fucking £7 million add-ons and 10%. No, we all know Van Dijk and Foster were sold stupid money. We all know in terms of their potential value, it was more. But for, like JP says, what we bought them for, it was good value. Same with Tierney, he came through a system for nothing. You sold him for £25 million.
That was part of my point, Ryan. I don't know because of the value of the sale that you purchase a guy for. I don't know if it then leaves you negotiation power at the other end. I
agree with you.
Do you know what?
Yeah, I don't know though. I don't know if their agents or maybe put things, clauses in their contract where they'll be like, right, if they'll sign a 5-year deal, but if they're hitting higher standards and at 2.5 years through that deal, if you get an offer for 19 million, then you need to let them go, because that could be a factor in it as well.
That's top dollar, but for a Scottish team.
Aye.
See
the thing is, right, see if somebody comes in to us in January and they go, if an Arsenal come in, they go at that, we'll give you 19 million for Matt O'Reilly. He's fucking, he's away. 100%. Like,
we only paid 1.5 million for him.
Exactly. So, if you look at it, we're a selling club. So we're going. That's why we get these players.
Changed though, Jace, since Ange just came in.
I think no, because I think he wants to try and keep the same players.
Not just that, mate. Right away, there wasn't any project signed right away. It was all guys that we had experience and know-how. Because he knew at the beginning there was going to be teething issues with the squad. So he signed players in order. They had a wee bit about them, a wee bit behind them in terms of experience. But they also had quality to negotiate a tough start. Now, they were coming into the team and being flung into the team straight away. Kyogo was just off a bus 10 minutes, met the team in a hotel, didn't know anybody, and then he made his debut at Tynecastle, albeit he was only on the park for about 8 minutes or whatever it may be. And already our fans were judging him, saying he was the weakest guy I've ever saw and he was too lightweight, blah, 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 blah. Look at him now. Starfelt was flung right in to get in beside Beaton.
Yep.
And a makeshift centre-back pairing. We then had, Ange was trying to fling a team together. Ralston was having to play right back. This is a guy playing right back. Everybody in their dug, in their granny, had him been moved on to pastures new. Saying he wasn't good enough for the club. He failed at his Dundee United spell. He failed at his St Johnstone spell. Aye, he did. Make no bones about it. It didn't go too well for the boy. But Ange came in and gave the boy a chance and turned his fortunes. Then what obviously turned Ralston's concentration fortunes around was the fact that him and his missus had a young, the young girl.
Mm-hmm.
So again, when you become a dad, your mentality and everything totally changes in your life.
Yeah.
The way you look at life totally changes. Your heat changes. If you're not already, it does grow you up a wee bit in terms of matures you a wee bit more. Makes you think. It makes you do different things. It makes you change your outlook to what it would do if you were a young guy and you were single. So there was a lot of changes happened really fast in terms at the beginning, Ange. And he threw a team together very quickly. But he had to do it with guys that, he had done his due diligence on, guys like Joe Hart. He brought in players with know-how, experience, to come into a dressing room who had only one or two other big characters and experienced guys there, in terms of guys like Callum McGregor, Near Beaton, Tom Rogic, James Forrest, and made them a unit, made them work hard. And then he started adding his own wee bits to it. Boys like Rio Hatati and Matt O'Reilly and Daisen Maeda. Obviously, he signed Idaguchi. Little did he know Idaguchi was going to be a bit unlucky in terms of, he was going to be injured a couple of times. And as much as the same with James McCarthy, it wasn't doing. He never brought in James McCarthy because he thought James McCarthy was Zinedine Zidane. He brought in James McCarthy because of this.
I knew, aye. Mm-hmm.
Because his brain.
Experience
because his
as well.
Experience. The guy played X amount of games in the Premier League. He played... I agree with that as well, John.
Aye, John, 100%.
Improved every single player on the team. But he had to rebuild the squad, right? And he had to do it very quickly and very smartly. Bringing in boys like Abada. Abada was a big gamble, boys.
He was.
19-year-old boy coming for Israel. He'd never left his home country.
He was. And he
wasn't mate, by the way. Abada, I don't care what anybody says. Abada was a project signing. Abada was meant to be for this season or maybe even next season. But he was in a situation where we were plagued with injuries, we were plagued with a depleted squad. Abada came in straight away and just turned their fortunes in terms of a manager showing a bit of trust in him, giving him a bit of belief. And then, obviously, Abada started to shine.
There's another man.
Jota.
How much does Abada go for?
What's that?
How much would you ask for Abada?
Well, you paid £3 million for him, Jace. You gave him a 5-year contract, so you can't just... I know people would like to say, we can sit and say to teams like Arsenal and Chelsea and all the other teams, should they come chapping my door for players? Right, we want £55 million. They'd be like that. For what? What's his pedigree?
The thing is, well, Jason, is that some of our players now are all getting high-mid international caps as well, which is going to help Celtic.
But that as well, and not just that as well, boys. Don't forget as well, another big negotiation tactic is, sorry to cut in again, right?
No, that's all right.
They now have a full, whether it be shite or not, they now have a full Champions League campaign under their belts. So they've all played in the Champions League now. So that's new an experience that now they'll carry forward. I don't know about you lads, but I can see them being, I can now starting to see them gelling better in terms of they're becoming a better team together because they've played in the Champions League. They've went through that experience together. there was moments in games at the weekend where I thought, well, I've not seen that before.
Aye.
I've not seen that before in terms of when they've got the ball and when they've not got the ball. So you look at when we concede the goal, and albeit people can say, oh, Joe Hart's terrible there, or, you know, he should never have get turned. Boy Levitt's a good player. Good players find space eventually. So he turned. I don't care what MD says. I still, right now, don't think that was a shot. I think it was a sort of curler towards the back post. In Levitt's favour, the ball bounces by Joe Hart and goes in. Now, whether that be a bit of concentration with Joe Hart, whether it be, you know, we switch off, which I thought we did in the moment. And then it was just unfortunate at that time I actually had to leave the stadium. I was leaving anyway, so regardless of whether that incident happened. But I can understand how that must have looked to the guys that were sitting about me. Ever went to 2 each, and he's big man's took the half and he's off.
Sorry to cut you off, mate. You may comment.
All right, mate, I don't know what to
go. The breakdown said earlier that Abada had the highest overall XG contribution in Scottish football, whole Scottish football. I've said in previous pods to you and Jason as well that I believe that Abada, if Ange can tweak his game in terms of sometimes his first touch is a bit raw. I think he's raw as fuck right a day.
Well, I said to my dad the weekend, Ryan, he's lucky that big boy didn't have a fucking Real Madrid jersey on or that ball.
In my opinion, right, people might think, I think Abada's still technically very raw, right? His first touch, his delivery is very raw. He's very rash. He makes decisions very quickly. But see if a guy at that level right now, and he's got the goals and assists he's got, right? They're talking about Ryan Kent. Look at Abada at his age right now and where he is in his career. He's only starting out really at Celtic, right? And what he's done so far. Clark Kent, aye. In my opinion, Jason, but I sure then we'll go to JP and then we'll go into the Motherwell game for a bit of short time. I do agree, Abada. I've said in previous pods, Jason, if Abada gets his delivery spot on and a bit his touch better, he's off for a lot of money. He's off. He's not Celtic anymore, in my opinion, because he's very good. He's sharp. He's nippy. He has got a bit of football brain in terms of his positional sense. I've seen it against Rangers. He's always at the back post. He knows where to be for goals. And I don't know what you feel, Jason, right? I'm kind of believing he's mega striking as a winger.
Yes.
I think he could play up front. Abada potentially.
He's got that killer instinct, mate.
He's got the killer instinct. He's quick. He's nippy. He's sharp.
He goes for the jugular every time.
Right? He's kind of offside a few times, right? That's because I believe he's always on the sharp end of things. And I'm agreeing with Sean. If Abada was English, he'd be for funny money. You're probably right, Sean. They'd be talking about him in a bigger sense. But I don't know what you feel, Jason, then we'll go to JP with that. But I do believe that if he gets his game tweaked, Jason, I don't want him to go, but he will have shooters and he'll have big shooters.
Jones.
Hi, Jones.
Jones. Excuse me. I've said that a few times that he's just his final product sometimes can be a bit sort of it's very, very up and down. I think especially in Europe it was a wee bit off. I think the Real Madrid game springs to mind. But the way that the boy plays on the line is unbelievable. And that's been drummed into him at a very, very young age. He's fucking embarrassed it on his arse twice.
Bobby Boucher, brilliant.
Bobby
Boucher, the water boy. He must sit down during a football match.
And Abada's, for me, he's just, he pops up with goals. If you remember last year as well, he was playing up front, Ross County away. It was when we scored in the 96th minute. It was him that scored the first goal because he was playing up front, but didn't have any fit centre forwards.
Mm-hmm.
So I would agree with you. I think he's nearly a striker than he is a winger, but I'll say this for the boy, he gives it 110% every time he plays, and his goal, what a finish that was on Saturday.
Honestly, that was people going to say, but that was Henrik Larsson. That wasn't Larsson finishing. That was for phenomenal.
That was a great finish. It's not been spoken about enough, but what a fucking
if that's
finish
Henrik Larsson, if that's Larsson or fucking Hooper or something, that's getting branded as an unbelievable finish. I thought it was top draw. On that as well, JP obviously answered the question I've said to Jason, but see with Abada, right? Mm-hmm. There's just something about him that I've got to say something. It's in terms of obviously, I think technically he's got a lot to go, right? I think he's still, for his age and where he is, he's only going to get better, right? But I think I'm agreeing with the two. I think personally, see him being up front, I think you'll get a lot of more goals at him as well. But I do agree that I'm agreeing with Sean. I think if he's English and he's playing down the south, I know Crystal Palace, I've been looking at him recently. He's off. I Butterley's glass. Yeah, actually, know what I'm saying. Don't give your shit. But I do agree, JP. I don't know you. Obviously, you feel a bit bad going forward, but I do agree that if he tweaks his game, JP, I'm not saying he's a starter every week, but he's definitely, for me, in terms of goals and assists, he's massive to what we do.
He'd never beat my Celtic team, right? You know my thoughts on that, mate, because he's got that killer instinct. He goes for the jugular every time. And how many goals is he going to get us? How many goals does he score? He's the type of guy that he wouldn't need to win a game for about 85 minutes and then he pops up with 2 goals at the end of the game. That's how good he is. In my opinion, mate, in terms of goal scoring, he's absolutely frightening. Just obviously know if he goes, get a Real Madrid jersey on right enough, but that's another ball game because the ball hits water boys and all sorts of. I don't know what his shots turn into, man, but that frustrates me. I know you see that finishing Saturday, and he's bearing down in Courtois, first Champions League game, and he hits the ball straight at him.
I know.
So why not have that same composure?
Pressure.
It's no, Brian.
Is it pressure? But I give Real Madrid as
experience. If it's pressure, then he's not able to turn it on at all. Playing for Celtic,
it's got to be a pressure thing. It's got to be the Champions League.
He's playing in front of a stadium, a passionate stadium.
He's not playing Real Madrid every week, but
he can score again. But he can score in a derby.
My thoughts is, right, I'm just starting to think of an angle that could be right, in my opinion, right? It doesn't matter if it's Champions League, Junior Football, Premier League, right? See, if you're a striker or winner, you should be able to finish 3 chances. It doesn't matter how it is and what arena, but I'm just thinking, is it belief? What is it? Do you know what I mean? What is it? Composure?
I've said that a million times. It's down to experience. It's down to seeing the moments, right? The Champions League, I've never played at the Champions League level, right? But I can only surmise looking at it, watching it in the stadium. The game looks a lot faster. It looks a lot quicker than what we're used to here. Like I said to you before, Hatate will try a ball in the corner against St Johnstone. He's getting it back in 2 seconds.
Yep.
He'll try that against Real Madrid and he's not getting it back for 3-4 minutes.
Done it against
because they're that good at popping the ball in the corners. They're that good at popping the ball out and keeping the ball away from you. Domestically, we don't have that manpower playing against us because domestically, I don't mean it again. We're the cream of the crop domestically, so we don't have teams of that manpower to be able to sustain that quality against us and pop the ball about us. Because the way we hunt in packs, I mean, we were doing it in the Bernabeu, even at 5-0 down, we were still hunting the ball, and we were getting a bit of joy now and again. So we do that domestically. We're getting the ball in seconds. Because sometimes it's 1, sometimes it's 2 and 3, depending on who's on the press in that moment in passage of play. So in terms of domestically, but playing for Celtic itself is a pressure alone. So regardless of whether you're playing for Celtic against Real Madrid or you're playing for Celtic against Rafe Rovers, it's a pressure. It doesn't matter. You're
always under pressure.
Your job is to get turn it on for the fans, regardless of who you're playing against. Now, you've heard Juranovic, you've heard other boys talking. Do you train differently when you're playing the mob across the water? No, we train like we're playing against Hibs.
Aye. Brilliant.
We might think that's funny, but what a mindset. Jack Marcus, we're the best team in this league. How? Because I know we are. Because we've got the best team, we've got the best players, we've got this, we've got that. Certain other players for the other side thought it was disrespectful for a big man to say that.
Certain players on our team can't. Certain players on our team can't play with fans.
No. Certain players for our team can't even play with ourselves.
Play extra 75 minutes.
Certain players for the other team can't even play with ourselves. Lundstrom. I don't know what he was doing at the weekend, but it looked like he couldn't pass one.
He's not a football player. I've said this for ages.
No, he's not. He wouldn't get a game with my team on Subbuteo.
Listen, I know we don't like commenting, right? But sometimes, sometimes in my opinion, football, Jason, right? This is the last wee bit, and then we're going to the Motherwell game for 5.
Even if you get a game of 5s with you, man, you play with 9.
See if I'm a Rangers fan, right? And I'm seeing what Lundstrom did, and you're going for league titles. That's honestly, Jason, JP, that is unacceptable. I don't care what anybody says.
He's
shot himself.
Right, that's unacceptable in my Sunday league team on a Sunday.
It's wrong. See, JP, I've known you long enough now, Jason, right? See if you're going for league titles and you find that out, because see what I seen with James Forrest in that semi-final last year. It was fucking no right. Chasing Bassey like that. I don't get. He's just on the park and he was blowing at his hole. But yet fans will back him up because it was James Forrest. No, it was unacceptable. See if that's in my team. See if that's a Tati, or if that's Scott Brown or McGregor, whoever it is playing, Jason, and that's a title winning guy meant to be in your team. That's not a guy I want my attention, Jason. That is how Rangers fans would accept that. The man
that. He's apparently playing in a team that's known for trophies.
Jason, see if that's popped up. I'd be shocked, Jason, if that's not popped up on their analysis.
It's got to.
You're a shitebag.
It's got to have been brought.
That's shitebag material. That's
like Tavernier's post match for XG.
But again, for me, lads, I agree with you, JP. I think that's unacceptable. And on that, for me, I agree with that. And I would never agree with Rangers fans, and most of the time I don't agree with them, right? But I agree with what their fans were saying to Tavernier, by the way, because we done it.
100%.
If we were there, we would see what he's saying about coming to applaud the fans. I agree. I don't know what you used to feel, but I feel if I'm wrong course, boom, down the tunnel, didn't go and clap the fans. There's some of the players aren't even clapping the fans. I agree with him. You pay your money.
Fans,
some guys can't pay their electricity bills. Some guys can't feed their families because I got to football at the weekend.
Listen, to be honest, I actually found out today why Gio was the first one down the tunnel. Apparently his Paw Patrol scooter was running out of batteries, mate. He needed to get that charged straight away. No, he didn't.
I agree.
Listen, he was down to one bar. It was either that or he wasn't getting his
He wasn't getting his
jam. His jam was ran out, but if he went back in, he was getting his jam.
Right, no, apparently Roy Mackay had the toast on, and what was happening was he doesn't like jam with toast that's cooled in.
See, to be fair, I heard a rumour it's marmalade now he likes.
Is it marmalade?
Orange marmalade.
Well, that'll explain the Paddington Bear outfit at Halloween then, won't it?
There we go. See what happens, you figure the things out now.
You know what I mean?
No, but I do generally agree with it. As much as I would never really agree with Rangers fans, and I try not to, but sometimes you need to, and that was true. See, if that was my team, I'd be agreeing. It's the least you should be doing is clapping your fans. Me and JP have spoke about this, Jason. I know we've had a brief chat about it. Celtic are losing games at home in the Champions League away from home, and all the players and the manager, the fans are staying and clapping me off. And for me, lads, go to you, Jason, that is a good sign that the fans are still backing you like that.
Aye, it is, because we've bought into what our club's trying to do and what our manager's trying to do. They've no, because they don't know what direction they're going in. See, with that, I'm with you. I agree with what that guy said to him, and I think it had to be said to Tavernier.
Do you know? But like as a team, right? See if you hear that many boos. Do you think there's that amount of booze happening? I don't even think there's one person sober. There's that much booze going on. You get what I mean? Maybe they're a bit feared to approach that sort of section.
I don't care. No matter how shite or how bad you're playing, you take that many fans, especially with a clubs like Celtic and Rangers. You need to always even if you go, look, we're sorry, and you go and applaud them. You've seen them doing it down south when they're playing, they're like that, sorry and all that. But everyone in the media and all that, but you need it with the but Ryan Tavernier always does that. He never when they're winning, he's the first out to the pressers and all that. See when they're getting pumped, he never comes out. we fucked them 3-0 at Parkhead, and they sent Ryan Jack out to there.
I agree with you, Sean, mate.
And that's the captain of your club.
Football fans are working class. One was a draw, show them appreciation. No, Sean, 100%, mate. That's my point.
You know what,
it doesn't matter if you beat 10-0 or you win 1-0, whatever. You're always going to clap the fans. JP, we have done it. I agree with Kenny, with Ange, we're all going to it and we're all together. You're right, mate. I don't know if you feel on it, JP, then we'll go to the Motherwell game. But for me, it's the only time I'll try. I also try my best. I try my best to balance, mate.
I agree with it.
I agree, JP, that if that was us, let's St Mirren, we get beat, or the crowd are staying, that the manager, you're there. That's the way it should be. It doesn't matter if you get beat or win, as Sean says, draw. We pay the money. You're entitled to your opinion. It might not be the best opinions, might not be all be experts. Well, in fact, we're no experts, that's why we're fans. But you pay your money, you're entitled to give an opinion. They abuse your opinion, but I think that guy's right, mate. He is.
No, definitely. But to turn round, I mean, they get beat with Ajax, knocked out of the Champions League, now par points, minus 20 goals, or 21 goals, whatever it may have been. And he comes out and part of his post-match press conference, this is your team captain, by the way, this isn't just one of your Joe Blog players. He turns around and says, we're a club known for trophies. See then, mate, I know you laugh, right? I know, listen, right? I know that's funny, he is okay, but see if you're interviewing him, you're just going to walk away with your camera.
Delusional.
It is unbelievable. See if that's the mindset these Fruit Loops are going out to games with, then it's hardly surprising, what's unfolding, right? Because maybe that's how he's no went and clapped the fans. Maybe he's that embarrassed. Like I've said to you before, Ryan, half the shite they talk isn't true. The other half's hard to believe. So it's there's never a balance. There's never a balance in it at all. Because see if they told me it was Tuesday, I'd need to look at my phone.
Need to check your calendar.
No, seriously, I'd need to go and check your calendar or check teletext or something like that. Because I don't even know if that's still a thing. I just say I'm showing my age here. But seriously, it's unbelievable. You've got your team captain coming out saying we're a team known for trophies. When?
You've got James Sands saying the locker room's still a winning mentality.
Two trophies in 10 years. 2 trophies in 12 years. 2 trophies in 12 years.
We're a team known for trophies. What'd you do? Steal them? They must have been doing it at me shop in the Forge and fucking.
No, but you're forgetting, JP. You're forgetting that they won the Division 3, Division 2, Division 1 in the Championship, remember?
And they had
the Ramsden's Cup, remember? They won that.
Go for that. It's a couple of bags of chips. I'll fish up. I bought a Dunn's Head and 2 packets of spearmint chewing gum. And thanks for coming. You're not don't tell me you're a team known for trophies.
Well, let's be fair, they've only been gone since 2012, so...
He's the only guy I know that's won more medals than any other football player, and they're all running-up medals.
Right, on to the last bit of the pod, obviously, lads. Jason, obviously, Motherwell, last game, obviously, was a very good, comfortable victory. Obviously, it was a cup game. You're kind of hoping it be the same. Will they make a few changes for the weekend? No Ange, but we will. Again, we've no really qualms, Jason, who he plays now. Everybody's able to step in and play now. We all trust the manager, we trust the process. I don't like how many changes he makes, but it's working as it stands. We've had 1 defeat in a year. Can he criticise the manager? Can he criticise what he does? So what he plays and who he puts on, then we've been to trust to win the game. I'm confident of going to Motherwell and winning. Always am with Celtic going anywhere in Scotland. You've always got faith in your team. It's a big game, Jason, in terms of if we win and they drop points, it might be curtains for VG on his Paw Patrol machine. So I don't know in terms of their side. I think it will be absolutely chaotic at Ibrox. I don't think it will be a good atmosphere if they don't start the game very well. But on our side, I think, again, every game's the same. You start quick, you think early goal. Motherwell might play Louis Moult up front with Van Veen. They might go 2 up front, they might play 1, I don't know. But Louis Moult done well at the weekend there, so he might be in a shout starting. Will Starfelt come back in? Will he play Jens? I'm a bit unsure on the install, Jason. I'm not saying he's shite. I'm not saying he's brilliant. I'm just unsure about him. For me, my partnership is still Starfelt and Vickers. We don't really see many goals in the two play. Recently, we've been seeing a lot of goals. It might not be fucking 20, 30 goals, but we've maybe keeping a lot of clean sheets recently. It's not a massive thing, but eventually you don't want that cream into your game. But got the
Who do you play at left back, right?
Who do you put at left back? Taylor?
Saying that, mate?
No, listen, I'm a big fan of Bernabei, but he's not done enough yet to be a starter. Taylor's been performing. He's probably maybe at a push now. The player of the year probably is a standout now.
Whoa!
No,
Can
listen.
you get this recorded?
No, listen. His stats tell you that he's doing very well. He's
Yes,
playing
we're not editing that bit out, right?
He's playing in most of the big games. He has been performing man of match performances all the time. Listen, we spoke about. I've always says.
Look at the sweat running off you, man.
I know.
Dad, get coffee on it. No, but I do agree, right? I've spoken about Taylor, not just me. At the time, even the start of last year and the year before with Lennon, he wasn't good enough, in my opinion. He was just a command left back playing with Celtic. We all know we can improve. It's shown with Alson. It's shown with some of the players with Ange. But like I watched Chris Sutton's interview with Darryl Curry in the Curry Club, obviously talked about Lennon and Griffiths, etc. Us as fans can only comment on what we see on a daily basis and a weekly basis at the stadium, and obviously through what you hear. Greg Taylor for me at the time wasn't good enough. Even at the start of this year, I'm thinking SPL he's okay, but in terms of European football, I didn't think he'd be up to it. That's why I thought Bernabei would come in. But he's been brilliant. He's shut me up just about roughly. He's shut a lot of fans up, same with Alston. But for me, JP, I don't know what you think about the Motherwell game, but I do feel that he might make a few changes. But again, you're confident you'll go and win, get 3 points, and obviously at the same time, they'll know what's happening in their game, we'll know what's happening in their game. So it's getting to that stage where you want to find out the results just so you know where you stand.
Yes, well, the fact, just first of all, before we go into Motherwell, just want to say about Greg Taylor, mate. That's why the boys call him Oxo, because he's absolutely different gravy. That's why.
And that, by the way, that joke was fucking Bristol, by the way, I'm telling you.
Oh, fuck off, you two, man. Fucking hell, man.
Nah.
Yeah, and it wasn't a chat, beef.
Here's one I made earlier. But no, definitely, mate. You're looking. This is the thing now, Celtic fans, boys. You know yourselves. We look forward to every game now, and the feel-good factor the managers brought that way, because you know what this team are all about, and you know what they're going to do, and you know they're going to fight to the bitter end, regardless of how a game goes, etc. I just think, regardless of many changes he makes, I think he's got a squad together now that are all hungry. They're all, see when you're winning, right, Jason, when you're winning breeds confidence, and it breeds confidence throughout the collective. See when he puts you in and you go and you perform well, teams get man of the match. You're just jealous, Sean, because you're not on here and have the opportunity to do so like yourself, son. That's how we're on here and you're sitting commenting. Because we're different gravy. No, as I say, where was that? Sean's put me off now, see? No, hold on. We were talking about the team. The team's excited to watch.
Breeds confidence.
The confidence. Winning breeds confidence. And that happens through the collective, because regardless of who's coming in and, taking places, the team are doing well. And the changes, I think recently, more so recently, the changes Ange is making to the team, I think we need to get used to this, guys, as well, because if Ange just want to see us as a regular Champions League club, I think this is what we need to become more accustomed to, because Ange is trying to build a squad that can assault on all fronts, not just the league or one of the cups or even Europe. He wants to have a go at all old front.
I love it, Frank. VG was about as welcome as a fart in
Welcome
this
as a
space.
fart in the space.
I actually thought I did tap him to about one point on Sunday, Frank, because he turned into, well, I think when Nicky Clark's goal went on, he turned into a ski jumper with his facial expression. It looked like he put his dad's aftershave on for the first time.
Do you know how he looks fucking ill?
Who?
Since he started that job to now, he looks like he's
it's probably stress. To be fair, he probably is under stress. He is under stress. But
he's slowly but surely starting to talk with a Portuguese accent. I'm beginning to think the good brother Pedro Caixinha's left something in that drawer.
I wonder when the caravans will start barking.
The dogs keep on barking and the
dogs keep barking, but the caravans keep moving. Here, see when he starts to do his team selections through using Highland Spring bottles and fucking Volvic bottles. By the way, then we'll start to worry. Because as I say, he's,
I'm fucking certainly not worried.
He's starting to be Neil Lennon. Very disappointing. Very disappointing.
Even if I was a manager, I would say we're the best team in the league.
Aye.
It's funny.
We're a club known for trophies, but so.
Which obviously, I agree with JP. I think obviously as well getting two what we should call last minute winners. It gives you people say it's fluky, it's this and that. Celtic have done it for years. This isn't fluke. Celtic score last minute goals for years because they go to the end, Jason. They go to the end. We don't stop. This is not just under Ange. It happened with Lennon, Dyler, O'Neill. It happened with every manager. We've scored late goals. Stratton, it happened all the time. That's not a fluke. It's because
Sharpendale.
Do you think Sharpendale is doing very much job? Stranger Love Doctor. I listened to the Super Scoreboard yesterday, and that guy who Martindale, then let the guy have his opinion, but David Martindale's going nowhere near that Rangers job because if he does, the fans will not go to the iBooks list. That should be honest. But I don't know if you
apparently they can't get him the rollerblades he wants. That's how he's not taking it.
But see, be fair, see if Martindale comes in.
There's maybe a Fireman Sam kind of guy.
Jason, see if Martindale comes in. What's going to happen to Poppy from? What's going to happen?
No, that's what Jason was just saying. He's a Fireman Sam type of guy. So just
Fireman Sam. Well, if Martindale does come in, then we'll need to start getting the fireman job.
To be fair, I think it's
Marvin Bartley's not
I think it's smelling slip dropping down a pole like smelling anything else.
Marvin Bartley's been Norman Price.
No, but I don't know what you feel about the
Marvin Bartley's his naked butler on a Saturday night.
Marvin Bartley, by the way.
No, I like him. I think he talks very well. On Sports, he's actually one of the ones I listen to. Him and Michael Stewart, I do like him, to be honest with you.
You could picture him the rodeo king for a housewarming, couldn't you?
Michael Stewart the last couple of weeks he's been pretty fucking off it, man. But
to be fair, I think he's just tried a bit to be a bit balanced. That, but I know he's mercy.
Sorry, mate, we boring you, aye?
I'm sorry.
But obviously, Jason, your last thoughts on the game Motherwell gave me, and what do you think will be the outcome?
I think we'll win again. I think he'll make a few changes. I think he'll freshen things up. Maybe see Forrest getting a wee start tomorrow. I think Kyogo will start. And I think he might go with Starfelt and Vickers at the back tomorrow. I think Starfelt will be ready to come back in. I think he wanted to put him in 2 games in a 1 week because of his injury. But I think now he'll put Starfelt and Vickers back in there. And I think I'm going to say we'll win 2-0, 2 or 3-0 tomorrow. I think
JP, like Jason says, your thoughts overall as well, mate. But I do think that keep my clean sheets vital as well. We've not really kept a lot of clean sheets in the league recently, so I know we've been winning games, etc. But you want to get a clean sheet as well because that will breed confidence. Again, I know the way we're trying to play. Joe Hart's does make mistakes. I haven't with Craig Gordon. It's just the way we want to play. But 2 or 3 wee mistakes haven't kept him with Joe Hart. Again, he's phenomenal. He still makes saves that are unbelievable. He still saves in games. But there's 2 or 3 wee things I've been seeing creep in with him. Again, that Madrid people, for me, he's got to come off his line. That on Saturday, he's got to come out for the cross. So we hinge on that. I think it's no massive mistakes. It's just me nitpicking. Nothing can be perfect. But Joe Hart's been a phenomenal sign for Celtic. But keep a clean sheet will obviously breed confidence into Vickers and Jens as well. If that's
absolutely, mate. No, definitely. Keeping a clean sheet breeds confidence into anybody. I do agree with you in terms of Joe Hart. I don't know if it's, just a wee spell he's going through. It started off with that accident. Well, disaster is what we would have called it, but he called it an accident. His wee mistake over in Leipzig. And since then, we've seen a couple.
Aye, Frank, you're right. You're right, Frank, aye.
Creep into his game.
He said it was embarrassing for the officials.
But like Frank says, did you notice Michael Stewart wasn't asked an opinion on the handball at Parkhead? He said it wasn't a penalty on the radio. Frank, we all know what sportsmen don't want to ask certain questions because it doesn't show certain things. Again, I do watch sportsmen just because it's Scottish football, but sometimes I think your opinions are maybe too biased sometimes. But I don't really think that I agree. Sorry to cut in there, JP, but I just thought I'd mention Frank's point there.
No, that's fine, mate. No, that's all right. But I agree with that. But also, getting back on the game tomorrow, I think obviously you're just looking forward to Celtic playing again. And by the way, if anybody's even noticed, any of us are televised.
No, it's not on telly. No,
sure.
The game's not even on the telly.
No,
neither's the game out of Big Goose.
Again, JP, I think JP, I think eventually we will do a podcast on this because you're trying to promote the Scottish game, and you've got Motherwell, even Hearts and Rangers. See, obviously I want us to be on TV, right? But even that game's on TV, and that's a good game for Scottish football.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? I agree with you. Sorry to cut me, but I do agree with you that that's something that should be. I'm sure it was Barry Hearn years ago on the radio. He was on the radio years ago talking about the Scottish game. And he says that it doesn't get promoted enough. It's no on advertisement. It's no on papers. It's no on leaflets. It's no. I agree with him. I never see Celtic versus Hearts or Rangers versus Hearts or even obviously I don't have a Motherwell, right? But I don't imagine there's billboards saying Motherwell versus Celtic. Celtic welcome. Motherwell mentioned get the champions or whatever. Do you know what I mean? No, I agree with you, Sean.
I agree with you, Sean, totally.
This is where Celtic at some points going to JP, right? So it's kind of these two games are probably they're no title deciding games, but they're two important games of this season because Rangers at points, or even Celtic at points, and Rangers win, it cuts the deficit, and it's always interesting again. Obviously, it's still interesting. It's home in November, but it's a game for the fans who maybe kind of get to games because you're at work, etc. during the week, and it's on TV. You know what I mean?
Is there an English card tomorrow?
It's Carabao Cup games, isn't it?
It's Carabao Cup games.
So they've prioritised. If it's on Sky, then they've prioritised down south.
Aye. Mm-hmm.
There you go. So they've prioritised down south to the games up here, which is, to me, it's nonsense, considering they were meant to have showed, but then again, Sean, it's all down to contractual. So it's all down to what you're contracted for. Sky are the main contributors now to our Premier League game. So they're the ones that have got to say so.
Should bring back BT. BT was far better.
No, they should. It's all right saying they should, but they never won a tender for it. So when it got put out to tender, it was Sky it up. Think about that. BT didn't put up what Sky did.
Yeah.
And then new Scottish footballers went away and negotiated with one another. And they went back to Sky with a new deal, which they've just signed in the summer there.
What's the new deal?
I can't even remember the overall figure, mate, but it's something in the regions of 140-something million as a whole. And it's the most Scottish football I've ever earned off a television deal.
What Sean's saying here, JP, me and you have spoken about it on this. It's this with Sky Sports channel. For me, Sean, I agree with you in terms of, but I don't know if it should be Sky Sports, but in my opinion, there
should be an SPFL channel.
I personally agree. Well, in my opinion, I think
you can get on the red button and select what game you want to watch.
Aye, see if you're not season recorder right, you can't get a games right. It should be off maybe a cut of price, right?
You've pressed that red button a few times, Biggie, haven't you?
It should be like SPFL TV, right? obviously this all comes down to financial for other teams, right? Like a Bro and Party Official or Command, etc. Right? A camera at every game, or maybe two cameras, maybe one at each corners, wherever they want to put them, right? A camera at every game. I don't think it'll be hard. It'll create more jokes for people, etc. You pay a £10 a month or £15 a month, and you get access to every home and away match for your club. How can that not happen? How can that not happen? If I'm not the best at maths or
too sensible,
right, how can it not happen? Because
it's too sensible. We don't do anything. We don't do anything that clever. We don't do anything that sensible.
How can
we're always last to do everything. Look at the VAR scenario. We were last to have that as well, and it took for every club here to vote. I mean, they even gave guys like, no disrespect, but they gave teams like Cowden Beef a vote on whether VAR should be in Scottish football or not.
Bonkers.
They're not going to. Cowden Beef, the only way Cowden Beef sees VAR is on the telly. That's it. Because they're never likely to have VAR unless one of the shake my tree type guys comes for Abu Dhabi and decides to,
Cowden Beef,
by the Blue Brazil. You're going to fucking laugh.
Aye, that's it. But it's kind of, a multi-millionaire's going to have to come for the Abu Dhabi or, come out to nowhere and get, aye, Frank, because it's Scottish football. Like I said earlier on in the podcast here, we're looked as a backwater league.
Yep.
To every other team around the globe. Don't get me wrong, right? But Celtic are worldwide, right? They're a big club worldwide. So they have, relationships all over the globe in terms of, their marketing resources and everything else. Jersey sales probably all in the world as well. There's fans in Australia, which is why we're going to Sydney as well. So but it's not as if we're not known. But in terms of the, when it comes to domestically, we're not looked as if we're in one of the serious leagues in the world. Mm-hmm. That's unfortunate, boys. We're a big fish in a small pond. And, unless something radical changes in terms of, a European Super League or all the astronomical things that you can think of, then it ain't going to change anytime soon. But, lads, I've took enough of your time tonight. I know we're all probably dying to go and make a cup of tea or some of us are dying to... But it looks to you, big man, you're dying to press that red button again. I definitely know you're probably want to go and do something else. So, please, if anybody's listening in and watching, please do not hesitate to click the wee bell and click subscribe on our YouTube channel. It's totally free to do it. If you don't know how to do it, all you need to do is set up an account with a wee email address and a password that only you would know. And it's quite straightforward. It's self-explanatory to do it. Basically, please click subscribe so we can bring a lot more content to you as the fans. Myself, Ryan and Jason are on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. Our actual page is on TikTok as well. Just type in Celtic Unrestricted View. You'll see us on there. Myself and Ryan are on TikTok. Jason, you on TikTok, big man?
Yep.
Yep, there we go. I didn't know if we were. I didn't want to just say that off the top of my head or not. But like I say, we're all on social media. So please don't hesitate to do so. We love the interaction with the fans. And we love doing this. So like I says, we want to keep doing it. So a wee subscribe to the page would help. Also helps the page as well, and it helps us guys know what you as fans would like to see and hear about. But as I say, it's been lovely chatting with you tonight, boys. It's always a pleasure to see your wee happy faces.
Spot on, JP. Just a few comments. Kenny, hail, boys. Great pod. Thanks, Kenny, for listening again, mate. And Stranger Love Doctor. Eventually, mate, I don't know if it's a female or male, but maybe privately you need to tell us your name, because Stranger Love Doctor's some name, man.
Some name.
So it's 5 days ago and liked the game. We really appreciate that.
That's encouraging the big man to click that red button repeatedly.
If there's anything the fans really want us to speak about and put out there, listen, anybody who listens to the podcast, we're no shy in putting out opinions. Thanks, Pegleg. Again, I don't know your name or not. If it's female or male, I don't know. Good show, lads. Hail, thank you. If there's anything that fans want us to talk about that they feel that doesn't get aired, then let us know. And if it's no bad, then let us know and we'll put it out there. Again, we're on social media. Please click to YouTube. It helps us and it helps the guys. Stranger Love Doctor. You're the last time watching tonight, whoever you are. But again, lads, hopefully a good result, obviously, tomorrow.
Yes.
Great chatting to you and some horrendous batter about Bristol gravy, etc. But again, we'll need to look up for Frank says, night, boys. Can of beans, I just want to go home. Frank, you enjoy your beans, mate. Remember,
stick them in the mic. Frank, before you go, stick them in the microwave, mate. They work best, seriously. Have a bit of steam coming off them.
A bit of tomato sauce to edge it off. There we go. But again, lads, Jason, JP, hail, lads, and take care.
Hail, boys.
Hail.
Cheers. Pleasure as always.
Cheers.